Hello, everyone. We're just waiting for everyone to be admitted. It looks like we're almost there.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, at about 1 more minute. Well, welcome. I am Heather Allen. And it's nice to meet everyone. I'm taking over the role of administrator for the Ventura County Climate Emergency Council. I believe you all have met Clay Downing. And so this is my first meeting, and this is everyone's first meeting of 2023. So welcome.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started because I do believe we have a quorum. So
Yes.
Welcome to the Ventura County Climate Emergency Council regular meeting scheduled today for Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. This meeting will be conducted via Zoom and telephonically, and that's in response to the declared state and local emergencies due to the novel coronavirus and limited public access to the Hall of Administration, consistent with the governor's executive order N-29-20. This Ventura County Climate Emergency Council meeting will be conducted via Zoom and telephonically. So as we move on through, let's have a roll call, please, Heather.
Yes, and please correct me if I pronounce your last name incorrectly. I am Southern, and so my Southern accent sometimes trips me up. But I'd like to take roll call. So Councilmember White.
I'm here.
Councilmember Ferris. He let me know that he was going to be absent. Chair Munoz Snop.
Here.
Councilmember Detour.
Very close. De Torre, like De La Torre, just De Torre. Scott.
Detour.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making a note of that. Thank you. Councilmember Bien Rostro.
I'm here, and it's pronounced Buen Rostro. I know the first R is pretty complicated to say.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Guerra, Dora Guerrero. Sorry.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Gorola, you got it. Yeah,
Oh,
here.
sorry. Dora, Councilmember Dora.
Oh,
I do not see her.
Yeah, I don't see her yet.
Okay. Councilmember David Gorella.
okay. Yeah, that's me again. So,
Okay. Councilmember Para. I do not see her listed. Okay. And I believe that is everyone.
hey, Heather, this is
Yes.
David Gorola. Just for your notes, I go by Keith.
Keith. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Back to you, Chair Munoz Snobs.
Let's go ahead and go to item number 3, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. And Keith, would you like to lead us through the pledge today?
Sure, if I get everybody to stand, please. Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
to
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Right. Now we are at item number 4, which is the oath of office for the new council members. And so Heather, you want to kick that off?
Yes, thank you, Chair Munoz Snaps. Mia Martinez from our clerk of the board is here today to administer the oath of office for our new council members. My records show that council member DeTore, Councilmember Queen Nostro, and Councilmember Gorella, not Keith, but Dora, all need to take their oath. Did I miss anyone? Okay, Mia, are you prepared?
I am. If everybody who's going to be sworn in today can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Scott DeTore.
We
I
can all do
must-
it at once.
Okay, sorry.
Scott DeTore.
Vanessa Bonrostro.
Do we have one more, Heather?
She is not present.
Okay. So do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend
Do
Do
solemnly
solemnly affirm that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the State of California
the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the
to the
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I
that
take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
reservation,
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties on which I am about to enter.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And council members that took your oath today, there's a form that will need to be filled out. So I will work with you to get you the forms, and they'll need to be signed and returned to me, and then I will hand them over to Mia. So
Very good.
thank you.
Great. Welcome, Vanessa and Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you. And your appointments, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Just a few, like a minute, who you are and who you represent, and thank you.
Vanessa, would you like to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Again, my name is Scott DeTore. Let's see, I'm a 40-year resident of Ventura County. Received my education down in Los Angeles, attended Cal State Northridge, where I received a degree. Back then it was called physical education, now it'd be called kinesiology. Did 32 years in the fire service, 5 with Santa Barbara County, and another 27 with Ventura County, and had the very fortunate experience of working with one of our council members, Chief Garola. So if I slip and call Keith Chief, please excuse me. It's an old habit. Keith's always chief to me.
We'll keep you in
and
line, Scott.
I say that with endearment. I reside in Moore Park. I was asked to serve on this board by prior supervisor. Which is Bill, I lost his last name. Anyway, who was replaced by Janice Parvin. And I am interested in this from for me, the biggest like interest or aspect from it is from the climate side, which is kind of obvious, but how it pertains to wildfires and it affects our communities. I always consider myself a voice of reason and compromise, and I look for logical solutions that work and that are reasonable and can be effective. That's where I'm at.
All right, thank you, Scott. And let's see, Vanessa.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm grateful to be here. So, the way I got into this or knew about this council was by the beloved Carmen Ramirez. So in the summer, I presented my research in front of her, in front of other officials, and she came up to me and was telling me about this council and that she would like for me to be her appointee. But unfortunately, she passed away. So rest in peace to her. So after that, I kept in contact with Alejandra, who was very open and for the opportunity of me being an intern, also for the sustainability division too. So I'm also part of that. So yeah, that's pretty much the summary of how I got into this. I am also a fourth year at California Learning University studying environmental science. I also have a background volunteering and collaborating with other nonprofit organizations here in Ventura County. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have here. So I'm very appreciated that I'm here, and I hope to bring some positive changes and plans. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Welcome, Vanessa. Okay, so let's move on then to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the election of chair and vice chair. And so the chair and vice chair are 2-year appointments. And I've had the pleasure of leading this group as the chair since we first started meeting February, I think it was 2021. And so thanks everyone for this opportunity to serve you as the chair, as well as our entire county. And I'd like to then go into the election of chair and vice chair. So Heather, do you want to describe the process here of what we're going to follow?
The process for nominating chair and vice chair, I believe someone from the VCCEC would nominate the chair and someone would nominate the vice chair, and then someone would second the motion and we would take a roll call vote.
Okay, very good. So are there any nominations for chair at this time? Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate you, Sylvia, to remain in position of chair. I believe we're just now starting to get movement on our process, and I would like to see you continue as chair.
Is there a second?
Bill White seconds. I agree with Keith that Sylvia's done an excellent job as chair, and if she's willing to continue, I think she does a great job of conducting the meetings, and I know she cares a lot about dealing with climate change. So I think we should persuade her to do it for 2 more years.
Okay. Are there any other nominations, or should we close this, Heather, or what?
I do not see any other nominations for chair. So let's take a roll call vote. Sorry, I was answering. Okay, so back to Councilmember White.
I vote yes.
Okay, Councilmember Ferris is absent. Chair, Snop.
Yes.
Chair DeTore.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Councilmember DeTore. Councilmember Dwayne Rostro.
Yes.
Councilmember Dora Garella is absent. Councilmember Keith Garello.
Yes.
Councilmember Para is absent, I believe. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. And let's go ahead and open the floor then for nomination for vice chair. Go ahead. You know what? I'm going to call everyone by the official title. So Councilmember Garola, go ahead.
I'll nominate Phil White for vice chair.
All right, thank you. And is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. So there's a motion and a second. All right. So Heather, would you like to, is there anyone else that had any other nominations for vice chair? All right, seeing none. So let's go ahead and move on the roll call, please, for the vote.
Yes. Okay. Councilmember White.
Yes, I'll agree to do that.
Councilmember Ferris is absent. Chair Snop.
Yes.
Councilmember DeTore.
Yes.
Councilmember Dwayne Rostro.
Yes.
Councilmember Dora Garella is absent. Councilmember Keith Grillo or Grilla.
Yes.
Councilmember Para is absent.
Actually, I'm here for Dora Hirela. Sorry,
Oh.
I just changed my name.
Oh,
Internet
okay.
issues. Just got in. Sorry.
Did you hear, Councilmember, please let me know if I'm saying your last name correctly. Is it, Gorella?
Yes.
Okay, and did you hear the motion?
Yes.
Okay, and would you like to vote?
Yes.
Okay, and that's your vote?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, so congratulations, Vice Chair White. Passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and move to items number 6, which is the approval of the minutes. We actually have 2 sets of minutes that we're approving. Minutes from the October 25th, 2022 Climate Emergency Council meeting.
Chair Snoop, I was hoping that we could take approval of both sets of minutes together, but if they need to be separated, they can.
Right, we could do that. We can let me retract what I said, and we will take under item number 6 and 7 together. We'll group them together, and they are the approval of the minutes from October 25th, 2022 and November 29th, 2022 Climate Emergency Council meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah, Chair Schnapp, I would motion to approve the minutes of the October 22 and November 22 meetings.
Okay, so moved by Council Member DeTore and Vice Chair White, I saw your hand up. Is that a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay, all right. We have a motion and a second, so let's go ahead and have roll call, please.
Okay, Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferris is absent. Chair Snoop,
Yes.
sorry. Councilmember DeTore,
Yes.
Councilmember Wayne Rostro,
Yes.
Councilmember Dora Gorella.
Yes.
Okay, Councilmember Keith Gorella,
Yes.
and Councilmember Para is absent, I believe. Okay, motion passes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. And let's go then to item number 8, public comments for items not on the agenda. And so this is the time we take during our meeting to see if we have any comments from those attending from the public on items that are not listed on this agenda. So I see that we do have quite a bit of people attending. I know it's probably for one of the other items. Is there anyone who wants to take themselves off of mute and or raise your hand for a public comment? Okay. I don't see anyone who has done either. All right.
Chairman Schnapp, I don't see anyone either. This Alejandra.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and then go through correspondence agenda. They are items number 9 and 10, and they represent items that are presented to this Climate Emergency Council for information only. And it was a letter received from Mike Johnson on February 6th, and then Mick Ferris on February 16th. All right, anything else on the correspondence agenda? No? Okay, thank you. All right, so let's go into then the regular agenda. And so we have item number 11, the resolution authorizing the remote teleconference meetings of the Ventura County Climate Emergency Council for a 30-day period pursuant to Government Code Section 54953 Subdivision E of the Ralph M. Brown Act. And so we reserve just about 5 minutes to present this information. So go ahead, Heather.
Sorry, I was just seeking someone to make a motion to approve the resolution.
Just one thing, Heather, before, just as maybe you're all aware, this Alejandra, this is the last time that we will have a remote meeting. We are moving to in-person meetings. So this last time we'll have a resolution and something to keep in mind moving forward. Our meetings will need to be in person.
Okay, and so this has been the standard practice for this council to approve these every time we meet because we have been meeting remote. So,
Correct.
okay. So can I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll move approval.
Okay, Vice Chair White moves approval. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Go
Okay,
ahead, Scott.
Councilmember DeTore seconded. Let's go ahead and have a roll call, please.
Thank you. Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferris is absent. Chair Munoz Snell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeTore,
Yes.
Councilmember Wayne Rostro,
Yes.
Councilmember Dora Gorella,
Yes.
Councilmember Keith Gorella,
Yes,
and Councilmember Para, I believe, is absent still.
Okay, so motion passes. I do see a hand up from someone from the public, Shelley Sussman. Did you want
Yeah.
to say something about this item?
Yes, I'm actually a county employee. I work for the planning division in RMA. And I'm just wondering, Alejandra, will members of the public be able to still participate virtually, even though the council members will be meeting in person?
Yeah, we're looking into how we're gonna be able to have that possibility be available while we're meeting in person and I still have the public be able to log in. So we're working through the logistics.
Working through
but
that.
yeah.
Okay. And then are you going to be meeting in the HOA Board of Supervisors room?
So we're not sure yet. So that's one of
Not
the
sure.
items that
Okay.
we're gonna propose to the board. We're understanding that, this is gonna be a new for this council and it's in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. So we're trying to figure out.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
That's okay, thank you.
Thanks for allowing me to ask.
Absolutely, great question. All right, so let's go ahead and move to item number 12, the selection of at-large council members. We have reserved 45 minutes for this time frame here. And what this is that the Climate Emergency Council is comprised of 10 members representing different parts of Ventura County. There are some that are appointed by supervisor, and then there are actually 2 at-large members. And so you saw in your packet that was sent at the end of last week, the names of those who are applying to be those chosen as at-large members. We do have 45 minutes attached to this time frame. And one thing that I was made aware of is that there is one supervisor who has not yet appointed for his district. And so I'd like to have the group consider if we should wait for his appointment. I have heard that it's going to be coming soon. That once that appointment is made, then we would proceed on with the selection of the 2 at-large. So I'm asking to make a change here today to this agenda so that the following meeting agenda would then reflect that we would take this selection of the at-large council members as part of the agenda.
I will make a motion that we postpone. I'm going to try to rephrase this for you, Sylvia. I make a motion that we postpone the selection of the at-large members until such time as the vacant supervisor appointed position is filled.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Yes, I second that motion.
Okay, so motion is made and seconded. So Heather, could you go through and
Yes, I will take the roll call vote. Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferris is absent. Chair Munoz Snell,
yes,
Councilmember DeTore,
Yes.
Councilmember Wayne Rostro,
Yes.
Councilmember Dora Gorilla,
Yes.
Councilmember Keith Gorilla,
Yes.
and Councilmember Para is absent.
Okay. So then motion passes. And so I know that everybody who had submitted their names to be considered at large, then we'll have to bring you back for the next meeting. And hopefully those meetings will then be set up here in the next few items that we take on and for the agenda. We thank you for attending today, and hopefully we'll see you then at next week's next meeting that will be scheduled. So the next item here is item number 12, and that's 2023 meeting schedule. And so we have in our packet some different types of meeting schedules that we can consider. There is, I believe, a monthly meeting, there's a quarterly meeting, and there's a every other month meeting schedule. This Climate Emergency Council meeting took on a much more, how can I say, many more meetings than what was prescribed. So there was maybe a threshold or a floor that we at least had to meet a certain time frame during each year. And this council from the inception had really wanted to meet much more aggressively to move items forward, because the process is where whatever items we move forward go to the Planning Commission for the county and then go on to the Board of Supervisors. And so we felt that there was a time crunch to get some of those things going and presented to the Board of Supervisors, which we did. We had a few make it to the round of going through the Planning Commission as well as the Board of Supervisors for approval. But that was at a much rapid pace than what was prescribed. So we're coming to you with suggestions of what we could actually consider as we meet. And also too, what Alejandra had mentioned is that we're going to be going to meeting in person now. They've set aside a conference room. I think we're looking at those other kinds of capabilities that we can then make for the general public to attend. And so we should consider that as we move forward then on our proposed meeting schedule. So that's just a little bit from me. Yes, Vice Chair White.
Yeah, thank you, Sylvia. Well, we had this conversation before a couple of years ago when we got started in questioning, should we meet monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly? And the consensus at that time was that we are dealing with a climate emergency, and an emergency is something that demands emergency attention, and therefore it's appropriate to meet frequently. And nothing has changed in this emergency. We're still in an emergency, and the county still does not have an approved plan to show compliance with the state emission reduction goals. I feel very strongly that we should continue to meet monthly. It's still an emergency. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions from the council? Okay. I'll open this up for public comments at this time. Or is there anyone from the general public who'd like to speak on this item that's on the agenda? You could take yourself off of mute or raise your hand on the screen.
Hey, Sylvia, this is Keith.
Yes. Go ahead.
Before we get into the public comment, I did have the question, and I know that it was asked prior, and it sounds like it's going to get worked out, where some of the committee members, if we're not able to make in person, if we would be able to Zoom in remotely and be able to add to the quorum.
Alejandro, I see that you want to chime in. Go ahead.
Yes, there is some new amendments to the Brown Act of how we can make that possible. It's I'll have to take a look again and see what there's a couple of rules of what happens when council members are remote. There is a process for it. I'll have to take a look and see what that is, but it's a little bit full of rules, but I'll take a look and see what that means. I think there's like a limit of the times that you the council can be remote, and we have to take roll and certain things, but that can be something that we can try and figure out.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know I agree with Phil as far as monthly meetings, but for my schedule, it would definitely benefit myself to be able to remote in every once in a while. Thank you.
Okay, so noted. Yes, so I see a couple of hands from the public. So Roseanne Witt first and then Renee, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I would just like to second what Phil said about this being an emergency and needing to meet as frequently as possible to actually address it while we still have time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then Renee.
Hello, my name is Renee Roth. I live in Ojai, and I appreciate you having these meetings online, so I don't have to drive down there and waste my gas and effort to get down there. This is really very convenient, so I appreciate this. And I agree with Mr. White in terms of monthly. I'm following this. And I will get the word out to hopefully get more people to be following this, because I know many people were very excited to see this happening and have staff assigned to start dealing with and doing some things to get the word out and supporting cities in Ventura County who need help as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Renee. Any other comments or questions from the general public? Okay, so yes, Vice Chair White.
And yes, I would like to move that we continue with monthly meetings and that we direct the staff to do what it can to encourage the ability of remote attendance to these meetings.
This Alejandra, we can. So all of our councils and boards are moving into in-person meetings. So the amount of conference rooms that are equipped to do remote teleconferencing, they're getting taken up soon. So as soon as we get direction from you, we'll try and book rooms. Like I said, we have to look at the schedule and see what's available and look at the time. So when and I think Chair Schnapp mentioned it earlier. Maybe we will take a look at the rooms and time. We might need to send out a poll if there's a chance of maybe changing the time of the meeting or the day, just in case we can get a room to meet this on a Tuesday from 12 to 2. Yeah, we just don't have enough rooms. And I also mentioned maybe changing a location once in a while. So I don't know, that's also another possibility. Going to East County or just another area that's not the Hall of Administration. I know this is, taking more travel time into the council. We want to be, as accommodating as possible.
Thank you, Alejandra, for making some of those points and items that we can consider as we book these in-person meetings or some of the remote. So right now, then I see that option number 1 is the monthly meetings, and today's meeting is on there, and then it follows that it would be March 21st, April 18th, May 30th, June 28th, July 18th, August 22nd, September 19th, October 24th, November 21st, and December 19th. And sometimes when we get into the schedule during the holidays, we may need to adjust things because of either a supervisor meeting or not meeting. And we meet on the Tuesdays that supervisors usually don't meet. So sometimes our schedule does get shifted, but not much. And so that's what I'm hearing then is that it would be option number 1 that is being proposed.
That was my motion.
Okay.
With the proviso that we ask staff to do what it can to enable people to attend remotely.
Okay, so that was a motion. Was there a second? I don't know. I think I stopped short of asking for a second
There
here.
was not.
Yeah, is there a second on that motion?
I can second that motion.
Okay, so seconded by Councilmember Rostow. All right, so can we go ahead and have a roll call, please?
Chair, yes, we can, Chair, stop. Sorry, I was waiting for one of the council members to join again. She looked like was kicked off, but she appears to be back in the meeting. Okay, ready for the roll call vote. Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferris is absent. Chair Snop,
Yes.
Councilmember DeTore,
Yes.
Councilmember Wayne Rostro,
Yes.
Councilmember Dora Gorella.
Yes.
Okay, you made it back on. Councilmember Keith Gorella,
Yes.
and I believe Councilmember is the correct pronunciation, Para has joined us.
Yeah.
Mary? Okay. Okay, motion is approved.
Okay, all right, thank you. And so I believe between now and the next meeting, we'll get some more information from either Heather and or Alejandra as to where and some of the details that would follow with a couple of the other items that we can consider there. Okay, so let's move on then to item number 14. And this is an update from County Executive Office staff. And so we've reserved about 5 minutes for this item. Go ahead.
Yes, I thank you, Chair Munoz. Stop. I believe everyone has met CEO Sustainability Staff Member Morel Vargas, but she is going to provide an update on some activities within our division.
Thank you, Heather. Perfect. Good afternoon, Climate Emergency Council members and the public. I'm Morel Vargas from the CEO Sustainability Division, here to provide you with the CEO staff update. So last month, the Sustainability Division concluded its environmental grant program. We received 43 applications and awarded a total of $45,000 to 4 organizations, those being the Friends of Campus Park, Santa Clara River Conservancy, California Institute of Environmental Studies, and Friends of the Santa Clara River. These organizations all received partial funding for their projects in Fillmore, Oxnard, Santa Paula, and Anacapa Island that will focus on environmental education and conservation efforts. The County Executive Office's Sustainability Division is actively working on the CAP MAP project, which will create an implementation plan and web-based monitoring and reporting tool for implementation of our county's CAP. The project has been expanded to have non-CAP general plan programs and to be integrated with Resource Management Agency's Planning Division e-General Plan. And the project is expected to be completed by end of 2023. And in October 2022, CEO Sustainability Division, in partnership with the Ventura County Library, received a Sustainable Libraries grant for having 3 branch libraries become Green Business Certified, and for hosting a series of presentations on sustainable living practices. The presentations will start in mid-March and will be held in the Saticoy, Piru, and Albert Solis libraries for anyone in Ventura County to join. Presentations will be on electric vehicles, home weatherization, the green business certification process, and DIY home energy and induction cooktop kits. And the Sustainability Division is preparing for events for Drive Electric Earth Day and Cyclemania that will be happening in April and May, respectively. More information and dates for these library presentations, Drive Electric, Earth Day, and Cyclemania will be later available on the Sustainability Division's website, and you can find that information at sustain.ventura.org. And lastly, the Sustainability Division has a new team member who will be working on climate action plan implementation. That is Victor Briones. And today's his first day, so welcome. That's all.
Great, thank you, Morel. Any questions for Morel? And any questions or comments from the public on this item? So you can take yourself off of mute or raise your hand. Okay, seeing none. Well, thank you for a comprehensive and quick report, and welcome to the newest member of the division. So thanks. So let's then move on to item number 15, the update on proposed actions by this council. We've reserved 15 minutes for this. So this would be information presented, and then we'll take public comment and discussion. So go ahead, Heather.
Yes, thank you, Chair Eunice Schnapps. We did not prepare a presentation. We were not sure how much time we had allocated for this item, but CEO Sustainability Division staff really wanted to provide a written update to the 6 actions that have been proposed by the Ventura County Climate Emergency Council. And this is a preliminary list of activities, projects, and programs that we collected and have actively taken in calendar year 2022. There's lots of other items that we have been involved with in previous years, but we just decided to cut it down since it appeared to be quite a bit of information for 2022. We also included a list of activities, projects, and programs that are being planned, proposed, and investigated for in 2023. I believe Morel had mentioned we have Drive Electric Earth Day activities coming up, and once we have the dates nailed down, we can provide a flyer with that information, as well as upcoming library events and Cycle Mania events. It is expected, that some of these activities, projects, and programs have been overlooked and not included. We will expand this list as more information is gained, and we talk to other departments and fill in this list. So please let me know if there are any questions. We also tried to include links to these activities, projects, and programs and websites as they are available.
Okay.
And we can always come back at the next monthly meeting and provide more information in a presentation if requested.
Okay, Vice Chair White.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Heather, and welcome. Last year, in the last couple of years, CEC approved 6 items, 6 recommendations or requests for information, and I'm curious where we're at on a couple of them that were headed towards the Board of Supervisors. The first one being a recommended policy that the county work towards electrifying its buildings and other facilities and reducing natural gas and propane consumption where feasible, and wondering when that is likely to get to the Board of Supervisors for their action on it. And the other one is the proposed program that would bolster the CEO's staff to create a new program designed to create outreach for existing residential and non-residential properties regarding electrification of existing buildings. Again, the question would be when can we expect that to get to the board? And the third item is was a request for information that a former member, Dick Baldwin, put to the council and was approved by the council, a request for information to do an inventory of the gasoline powered landscape equipment, what we're talking about in terms of how many pieces of equipment out there. And so the question would be, is that inventory complete, or is somebody still working on it? So those are the the three questions I have. When are the first two going to get to the board? And the third one is, when will the landscape equipment inventory be complete? Thank you.
Yes, Councilmember Vice Chair White, thank you for those questions. I believe for the first two questions, I will need to do some further research. I will need to get back to you on those. I can start to answer question number 3 and talking to our general service agency staff and as well as other department staff. We do keep an inventory of the larger landscape equipment that's more associated with mowers and carts and not necessarily like hedge trimmers and stuff like that. And so each department has their own list and we can combine them, or we're working on combining them and creating a master list. But that would only cover larger landscape equipment. I believe some of the smaller equipment a lot of times is not included on those lists, but we'll try to get as much information as possible. And also, I just wanted to let you know, I've just started to track, but I believe our county staff has been tracking Assembly Bill 1346. It's moving through the legislature. And I believe that bill would require if passed, would require the transition of landscape equipment starting in 2024. I don't have a lot of details on that bill. But I can come back at the next meeting and provide an update and a response to your question number 3, hopefully the inventory list.
Great, thank you, Heather.
This is Alejandra. I just wanted to just elaborate. We are trying to get Heather on board and kind of get through all the materials, so give her a little bit of time. But in regards to your first 2 questions, Heather provided a little bit of update of what we're already doing on the GHG emissions for residential and for our county building. So it's a little bit of what we're doing, and we're trying to make sure that when we go to the board, we tell them what we're already doing and what's missing, right? What are we not doing, and kind of, to get more funding, or what is it that the climate emergency council is recommending to kind of get us beyond what we're already doing. So we're just trying to do some of that shuffling, making sure that we give credit where it's due, what's already happening, but what we need to do above and beyond what we're doing, and getting Heather on board. So and working through the schedule. So we'll get on that, and next month we'll give you a more comprehensive update on the first 2 proposals.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from the general public on this item? We're on item number 15. So you can raise your hand or take yourself off of mute. Okay, so seeing, oh, yes. Okay, so I see Newt. Go ahead. Take yourself off of mute, though.
There.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. I just want to make the observation. I have a gardener that comes in, mostly mow and blow, and he on his own switched to battery powered. Unfortunately, that only lasted a few months. I haven't talked to him. I want to see why he went back. Maybe the batteries just don't last long enough for him, but I think we need to really provide incentives for them to do that.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the general public? All right, go ahead, Chair White. Vice Chair White, there you go.
Well, I'm not the chair, you're the chair. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming to this meeting, and to congratulate all the new members of the council. Our mission is to make recommendations to the boards of supervisors for climate actions that they can take or support that will help Ventura County do its fair share of reducing this climate emergency that we all have. And so I want to encourage everybody here to to come forward with ideas, new ideas for things that aren't already in the climate action plan. There's a lot in there already, but you know, we're here to make recommendations, so don't be shy about speaking up and recommending things that you think the board should be doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions from the council members? Okay. All right, thank you, Heather. And then let's move on to item number 16, the summary of the local climate action and adaptation planning efforts.
Yes, thank you, Chair Eunice Snop. Item number 16, again, we weren't sure about the time that was going to be remaining on the agenda, but this is initial analysis of the current climate and adaptation planning efforts occurring within Ventura County, looking at all of our cities and what the county's doing, as well as a snapshot of planning efforts in mostly southern Santa Barbara County and Los Angeles counties. It's expected that this analysis will grow as we learn more information from talking to surrounding jurisdictions or other jurisdictions that are recommended by this council. We can always invite a presentation on what other regions, cities, or counties are doing. And so, again, to the extent feasible, we provided links to the documents and the websites that were identified in the table. Please let me know if y'all have any questions or would like to request any follow-up information.
Very nice, comprehensive detail here. I really appreciate what you did, because this was a lot of work. You could see. Yeah, so thanks for summarizing that for us. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, then are there any comments from the general public on this item number 16? Yes, go ahead, Newt. And take yourself off of mute. There you go.
I'm late because I thought the meeting was going to be at the usual Board of Supervisors room. And I'm a application for the at-large position, one of the at-large positions. And I thought I was supposed to be present. I'm all dressed up, but here it's just a Zoom meeting. So my question is, it said it was going to be done in the order of presentation, and I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, so what we did, Newt, is that we decided to postpone that part of the agenda, that item, to next month, because there was a supervisor, or there is a supervisor who has yet to appoint their person to the Climate Emergency Council. So that should be forthcoming, and we felt that that was going to be important to wait until that appointment is done and then bring you all back at our next meeting scheduled now in March.
Okay, that's more. Can you give me the date on that?
Yeah, I believe it's is it the 21st or the 19th, something like that? Let's see.
Well, I suspect I'll get an email.
Yeah, it would be March the 21st.
March 21st. Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, good question. And then I see Renee, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Renee Roth again from Ojai, and let's see, we have, you know, I just have to say, I really appreciate seeing this chart that was put together, and I do see that there was a lot of work put into it. And I know it's really in everybody's best interest to work together and collaborate and share ideas, so we don't all have to reinvent the wheel here. And because there is a lot of work that's already been done by many, I'm hoping that we can get some action taking in our fair little small city of 700 or 7,500 people. And we don't really have a big budget to do a lot of these things, but there is a lot of education and outreach that can be done. We used to have a very active Ojai Valley Green Coalition, but they have had to kind of reorganize. And we used to do a big Earth Day presentation, and we're no longer doing any Earth Day things. So it would be kind of nice to see have a central repository of what kinds of climate action plans people have done. And I have used this to actually go look and see what others have done. And I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Renee. All right, any other comments or questions from the council? Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Heather or Alejandra? No. Okay. All right, very good. So then let's move on to item number 17, and this is council member comments and future agenda items. And we have allocated 10 minutes for this part of the agenda, this item. So let's go ahead and see if anybody wants to go first from this council. All right, so I see Vice Chair White, and then was that Council Member DeTore? Did you have your hand up? No? Okay. All right, go ahead, Vice Chair White.
Thank you, Sylvia. Last Friday, I attended a very interesting Zoom meeting that had to do with kelp, seaweed, and kelp's ability to sequester carbon as a way of working to help solve the climate global warming crisis. And I know there are a couple of local organizations that are involved in this. Probably worldwide there are many, but I think it's something that I know is not in the county's climate action plan. I would like to see us explore this idea, this concept. Couple of the local names I've heard are Ocean Foresters. Another is Brian von Herzen. Both of these organizations are looking to use kelp, seaweed as a way to help solve the climate crisis. So I hope we can introduce that into what we're doing. The other thing I just want to compliment Heather and the CEO staff for the last thing that Heather talked about, and that's what other jurisdictions in California are doing on their climate action plans. And I think that's great what you've done, and we need to explore that more and find out who's doing what and what can we learn from, for example, Santa Barbara County or LA County. I want to respond to Renee Roth's comment about helping cities in Ventura County, and I want to point out that the climate action plan that was approved by the Board of Supervisors in 2020 does include an action item for the county, for Ventura County, to coordinate climate action planning with all the cities in Ventura County. And I'm not sure that much has happened with that so far, but yes, that is an important thing we should all be doing. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair. Any other council member comments? I do see Francis, I see your hand up. So you're from the public. Did you have
Yes.
something on this item?
Yes, hi, on this item? Yes, hi, my name's Frances Lee. I live in Moore Park. And I'm really happy to hear that you're actually talking about climate action plans in the other cities of Ventura. Actually, in Moore Park, we're looking at that right now as they approve their general plan. And after a draft EIR, they were informed that they need to include a climate action plan in their general plan. It's recommended, I'm not sure, or mandatory. It's kind of iffy. But the Planning Commission really is in support of this. But now it will go up to the city council to implement that. And I think it's a way off, but I would like to see that any way we can escalate that, or, make it easier for cities to be able to pass, or, because they need funding for working on their climate action plan. And anyway, yeah, I'm going to speak to that soon in April 5th, I think. So anything you can add to that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so no other comments from any of the other council members? Right, okay, I don't see any hands raised. All right, so then we are going to adjourn here with item number 18, and that's adjourning this meeting. Our next meeting is March 21st, and between now and then we'll get more information as to where we're going to be meeting. So we will be going to in-person meetings. And then there should be more information coming out from Heather and Alejandra as to the details of that and where those meetings will take place. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks and welcome to the new members. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Más fue una hora. Because those 45 minutes where they give the public or the council